And we live. All right, guys, what's up? We're here with John Vaughn, and I'm excited to talk chatbots because I have been, people have called me the chatbot guru or king or whatever, all these bullshit kind of chatbot names, but I very rarely listen to someone in the chatbot space, and John is someone that whenever John talks, I have my ears up because he is doing shit that I could only dream of in the chatbot space. And John actually has a team of developers. He's a software engineer, spent time working as a software engineer, and then said, screw working for someone else, I'm gonna go live my own life, and now has built a team of engineers for himself, and is running his own business, living the dream. So John, thanks for hanging out and spending some time with us, dude.
Yeah, my pleasure. You know why I do it, man, because I'm a lot like you, man, and I don't listen to that many people either, especially on the internet, because most of them are stupid. But when it comes to sales, man, like whenever it comes to sales, and honestly, when it comes to sales, and when it comes to just really like cutting a bunch of the essential marketing bullshit that people put out there, and in front of their little, like what I've noticed with you, and I've been following you for some time, that's essentially how we hooked up, man, is I've been following you for some time myself, because what I really like from you on day one is like what I see. I fucking hate marketers, man, because they do very little work and they think that they're fucking gods. But what I've seen with you, and what I see with one of the reasons I hate them is because I see all the time, like what they do is they'll give like a bunch of garbage crap and then like this little tiny piece of value somewhere after that crap. And then they're like, yeah, I'm a god. And what I noticed with you, and that's really why I started following you, is because you were like, fuck that shit. Here's a bunch of valuable stuff. And I'm nothing else but the value there. So I look up to you whenever it comes to sales, because you know what you're talking about there, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So one thing that we've actually been working together a little bit is on just taking the chatbot game to another level. And we'll just share for you guys who are tuning in live. Let me know if you guys are here. What was interesting is everybody was whipping their chatbot, their chatbot dicks out in the group, and everyone was trying to say how much they've sold their chatbots for. And then you went in there and you dropped, a big number, which you can share if you want. But what I would really love about what you're doing is you're bringing the software game, which people have been charging hundreds of thousands of dollars for years now, and you're now bringing it to the marketing space. And that's why I'm excited to kind of get in on that a little bit. So for your perspective, like when you're kind of approaching bots and things like that, can you kind of speak to what your kind of idea of a quality bot, or what a good bot is, or when you're talking about charging some of these multi 10-figure prices, like where does that come from?
Well, what I guess that's a hard topic. What makes a good bot? So there's kind of two deviations there, right? You kind of got two options of what makes a good bot. There's two things that could make a good bot. Something that makes your client happy and he's ready to fucking pay a bunch of money for it, regardless of what the user thinks. If your client's happy and he's ready to pay, in my opinion, that's a good bot. Or something that ultimately provides some type of utility or benefit for an end user.
Yeah.
Now, something that's not sloppy, obviously, something that's easy for an actual end user to navigate and to use, that's intuitive for them to actually understand what needs to actually be done. They don't know what your keywords are, right? They don't know how to really interact with your bot. They don't even know what a real bot is. So to be able to actually cover that utility, make it actually easy for a user, and also do the shit that you do. I mean, in your bot, don't give a bunch of real bullshit content and a little, that has like a little seed of value inside of that, because your consumer your user is going to get tired of that. Just give them the valuable stuff. And if you just give them the valuable stuff, they're going to, in return, do the same thing for you. You'll find out that if you do that, they're going to, in return, whenever you hit them up for money or try to make a sale or whatever, they're not going to give you a bunch of runaround or ask for discounts. They're just going to give you the value back. Boom. So make your client happy or make the user happy.
Yeah, it's interesting that software is really about those things, right? We can get into the intricacies of software, but it really comes down to helping people out. So we're going to do a demo right now for you guys, and we're just going to put together, John, how long did it take you to make this bot? Like a few minutes?
This flow, it took me, I guess it took me altogether, like 2 hours to make. And that's essentially because there's a few moving parts to it. And also, like you said, I run a company. I got 37 engineers that work for me, and no matter what I'm doing, like I'm always preoccupied doing it, because if you were to watch me work, like while I'm building this flow, I'm simultaneously talking to 6 clients at the same time, getting their requirements and helping developers with what they need to do. And I'm building this at the same time. So like actual working, maybe like 25, 27 minutes if I was completely zoned and not getting bothered by people.
So take me through this flow. This is a lottery flow, and what's kind of happening behind the scenes, and then we'll walk through, and then we'll actually go through it.
Yeah, so behind the scenes, you want to join a lottery. So we essentially have 3 different lotteries. So the first thing I do is I just ask you what lottery that you want to join, and I present you with your 3 different options. So now you picked an option. So now essentially what we do in the back end is we go out and we check for that particular lottery that's only allowed to have 30 people, how many people are actually currently in that lottery, to see if you're allowed to join or not. You've actually, in that particular lottery, there's less than 30 people. So and that's what you pick, the 30 people lottery. So there's less than 30 people. So you're allowed to join that lottery. So now I'm just going to ask you, do you want like a random pick? That's how a lottery works. You either get a quick pick or you yourself pick your number. So
basically what this is, John, is like when people are running like contests or specials or whatever it is, for e-commerce stores or whatever, they can now actually have people enter a legitimate lottery that is tracked, and there's a limited amount of spaces and the whole thing.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Easily.
So what happens so I'm going to hit random number. So if it hits random number, so there's my email. That's my spam email, which is right there. And that pulls from where? What's going on there?
So first off, when you pick a random number, that just assigns you a random number between the valid range of numbers, which is 1 to 100. You would know that if you would have tried to pick your own number. Where did I get your email from? From Facebook. I mean, you gave it to Facebook. They gave it to me.
So that automatically pulls it from there, right? So it'd say yes.
That's correct. Or if you hit no, you can manually enter your email address if you want to, obviously. So now I'm just letting you know that, what the terms of this lottery are, that they're $3 tickets. The winner's going to get $50, give you a way to buy your ticket, and let you know you need to use that email address. Make sure you use that email address and try to make that clear for you. And I could go in and edit it and make it bold, but I try to make it clear that you need to use that email address whenever you make your purchase.
Well, and that's because this is going to open up right here in Messenger, and I can pay. And essentially, if I pay, right, it's actually going to track it right in Messenger. Yeah. So let's see.
Yeah. To an extent, yeah. So to an extent, it's going to track it because of Zapier in ManyChat now.
But essentially, it's going to register without me having to do anything else, right? So the email kind of syncs everything. Yeah.
The email is our custom data, correct? Now here real soon, you won't have to use any. You could use whatever email that you want, because it's something I think we'll talk about later that's really interesting, which is a new release that ManyChat did. So, but yeah, right now that email is essentially what identifies you as a chatbot user.
All right, so guys, I'm not going to give you my card on live here because there's people watching. Give me a second. Let me put this in, and we're going to do this live here. And we're going to see what happens. So John, while I'm doing this, why don't you talk really quickly about the new ManyChat development? Because this is something that I didn't even know about, but basically ManyChat was really limited in its capabilities. So I always told people if they wanted an advanced bot that needed to do any really outside capabilities, that Chatfield was the way to go. But essentially you're telling me that that's not necessarily the case anymore?
Well, yes and no. All right. So I tell people the same thing. From my perspective, I've got 3 things that I tell clients. All right. But we want to do a real rapid prototype. You want to see some real quick results. You want to see how something could look from like a prototyping UI. If you're into software development, then you understand little click-through demos that don't actually work, but it allows a client to click some buttons and see how things would actually work if you built it. So ManyChat's great for that. It's great for those little click-throughs, and it's also real great for great for simple bots. Now you want something more complex that can interact with your own database and can interact with your own application and perform some more complex functionality, then we want to migrate over to ChatFuel. Now, do you want something reliable that you could consider a business asset? If that's your answer, then we don't want to be on ManyChat. We don't want to be on ChatFuel. We want to build our own custom bot. We want to build our own bot and host our own bot because that's going to be an asset to our business. So but what ManyChat just released, they just basically released, if you look in ManyChat and you go to the settings, there is something, a new tab there called handoff. All right. So that handoff is a protocol defined by Facebook. Hopefully everybody understands that the reason that we have these bots is because Facebook has an API that they let us interact with us. So they have a handover policy that basically allows more than one bot to interact on a page at the exact same time. You can have more than one application. Now, in order for that to be successful, it means that the bot builder, the bot platform themselves, they have to actually conform to the handover policy. So ManyChat's actually now just released that as a feature where now, hit OK, by the way. So now they've actually released as a feature that they support handover policy. So now essentially we can have a ManyChat bot as the main bot on our page, and all the complex stuff that we actually can't do with ManyChat, we can have a secondary free ChatFuel bot in the background that can handle all of those complex things. If you want to interact with your own database, your own server, well, we can use ChatFuel as a secondary. You want to be able to have WebView Messenger extensions. You want to be able to have a chat extension, which are all really, really cool features. You want your bot to interact in a group. People ask that all the time. How do I get my bot to interact in a group? Well, what does everybody tell you on the internet? It's not possible, right? Well, those people are fucking stupid, and all they understand is ManyChat and ChatFuel. The shit's totally possible. All you got to do for your bot to interact in a group is you got to create something called a chat extension for your bot. Now, whenever you look, like if you go on your Messenger and you try to actually message me, like my personal Facebook, you'll see in the bottom of your Messenger, like on the right or left, depending on whether you use an Android or whether you pay too much for your iPhone, you'll see a little button. And that button is like a little plus button. And that button is the chat extensions. If your bot has a chat extension, as soon as your user interacts with your bot, you can now essentially inject your bot, or your users can inject your bot into a group conversation and interact with your bot in a group conversation. So now we're able to build those even in our ManyChat bot, not through ManyChat, through ChatFuel as like a little helper, right? We use ManyChat since ManyChat's so fast to build in, and the only reason we don't want to use it is for two reasons. One, we can't interact with our own application. We can't use web views. We can't use chat extensions. And ultimately, they are not, as much as I love them, they are not that reliable. Everybody bitches every single day. A different group of users bitch because they're having outage in their bot because ManyChat servers are responding slow. So outside of that, we really love them. So we can now use ManyChat as a primary, have ChatFuel in the background to do any little thing that ManyChat can't do until they build it themselves. So it's really exciting because now, I mean, we don't have to wait on ManyChat another 6 months to give this support because now we already have it if we know ChatFuel. And if we don't know ChatFuel, then that's not we, because I totally know it. So
so now what you're saying is we can build in ManyChat, and then whatever ManyChat can do, ChatFuel can come and pick up as well. So you can actually utilize both now because ManyChat, that makes sense. So let's jump back here to the demo, and it says so I hit submit. I put in my information. I said it was great, and it says, how's your experience with Invoicing You? Now this is actually your software that you put in here, right? That basically allows you to take payments right through your chatbot. Yeah.
Correct.
Let me build you up a little bit, and then you can add on more, because typically most payment processing within the chatbots is one payment, right? Even ManyChat, when they release their payment feature, it's going to be one product. You can't, it's very, very limited in your functionality in terms of payments. But what this does allows you to, you tell me. I mean, you probably tell me better.
So this software allows you to do all sorts of stuff. So It essentially allows you to generate invoices and take money from people over the internet. So you can create invoices that are really specific to your client. That's like an individual invoice for one particular client. You can essentially make product invoices where that's what you just purchased. If you did a product invoice, you purchased a lottery ticket, which is a standard product. You can do group invoices, which means that, like I just did a group invoice today for my group, and I was like, yo, my training cost X amount of money, and I'm gonna give it to you today for X minus Y. But since I use group invoices, because it's a function of our software, if 10 of you guys buy it, I'll give you an extra $5 discount. If 100 of you buy it, I'll give you actually an X minus 1, and essentially you get my stuff for $1 if so many people buy it. So it allows you to do basically crowdsource coupons like Groupon in an invoicing platform where you can say this thing costs $100, but if 10 people buy it by this time, you can set a time limit, then I'll give you X amount of discount. If 100 people buy it by this time frame, I'll give you X amount of discount. So with the bot now, it allows you to generate these dynamic invoices. Like let's say, if you're lucky enough to be part of the payment beta for ManyChat, then you can accept one-off payments. Now, if you want to have a user go in and purchase 5 things and add 5 things to his cart, then essentially what you're going to do, you're going to have to sit in ManyChat, you're going to have to get a notebook and a paper, and you're going to have to do what's called a permutation. You're going to have to take your products and you're going to have to go in and calculate every possible combination that you want to allow a user to add those together and create one payment option for that thing. Well, with this platform, you don't have to. You just say, hey, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, done. Let's generate an invoice for everything inside your cart. And then you get postbacks whenever a user actually pays and the invoice has been paid. You can do monthly subscriptions. You want to charge a user automatically every single month, you can do that with this platform as well, which you can't do in ManyChat. And then, like I said, once a user actually pays for everything, then you know about it in your chatbot. Now your chatbot knows. So like I use it in DemoBot for some of my content. I got a bot that's a membership bot. That bot's generated me since November like $30,000 just selling videos. And the way that it actually does it is it does it by this software right here. You go out and you have to pay something through this software. And once you pay it, it unlocks all the content inside the bot.
I love it. So let's jump back to now. Let's see what happened. So I paid and it said, thank you. You're going to get your confirmation of within 5 minutes. Here's thank you for your payment. You can get started. I'm in. And the lottery pick of 72 has been confirmed. So everything happened right here, right in Facebook Messenger. The customer doesn't have to go anywhere, and they can get paid pretty much in any possible way that you kind of mentioned, right?
Yeah, and I got some money from you too. I got $3 from you too. And now essentially what would happen though is now so what's happened in the background. All right, so let's talk about that. What's happened in the background is you hit the make payment. Once you hit that make payment, then you open up that software invoicing you actually make the payment. Now, once you make a successful payment, that sends data back into the chatbot that you've actually paid. And then what it does is it goes out and it updates that there's a new entry in that lottery. So let's say there was 29 people in the lottery and now you just paid and you're the 30th person. The next person that tries to enter, they'll see that the lottery's closed and they can't actually enter. So it updates that counter to how many people are in the lottery. And then it goes in and actually takes your number and your information and it registers you as one of the active lottery participants so that whenever we actually do the drawing, if your number, which was, you picked a random number, I think it was like 67 or something like that. If that pops up, then you get to win the money from the lottery, or you get to win the free duffel bag or whatever. I just did a contest for one of my clients last week, and they only got 250 leads in it, but they're not a huge. They're not huge. They didn't have a bot before, so they literally had 0 audience, and they ran the promotion for like 4 days. And from the 250 leads, they got about 72 sales of a $350 bag. So I guess a chef bag. And their audience is a little hard to target too because they're chefs. Like they're targeting chefs on the East Coast. So, and I don't do that marketing shit, so I don't know why they only got that many leads. But I do know the shit worked really great. They did a giveaway just like that, essentially, and it led to 70-something sales. It led to a good amount of sales for them.
I dig it. You've got a few more flows in your vault, probably a ton in there. Any just fun ones? And I'm curious. I'm gonna go here to see if there's any questions, and I'd love for you to dig up a flow.
Yeah, if you just go to random demo bot too and ask it what it can do now, you'll see it accepts payments. You'll see that it can make phone calls. You'll see that it can do multiple choice quizzes. You'll see that it can do like real-time polls, like surveys for people.
So I can ask the bot, what can you do?
It's in the menu as well. If you just click the menu item, or if you ask it what can you do, then it will take you probably like 90 seconds to go through and actually see all the different quick replies of what it can do. So spreadsheet lookup, request a feature, you want to do some math, you want to scrape a website for emails, multiple choice quiz, one-time use coupon, verify emails, you can post a photo to my Facebook page, get the weather from someplace, make sure you give your zip code, make sure you give a valid zip code in the United States. That's who my bot serves, the United States. So I use APIs from the United States. So
looking good. It's not too bad out here. Doesn't suck to live in LA. That's for sure. So let's see. I'm gonna go back to menu. So let me see. I'm gonna take some polls here. What do you guys want to try out? Or let's see. What can you do?
I built that lottery flow literally just for your group, man. I seen somebody in your group was wanting to build that, and that's how much I like you, Hector. That's how much I've been following you in your sales stuff, and I really like you because you're teaching people how to sell shit. You're teaching people how to sell stuff. So I teach people how to build stuff, and that has a value and it has a help. But I mean, if you're
let's be fully transparent, John, and kind of why we're doing this. The reason that we're doing this is there's a lot of people out there who you guys have I don't have any fucking clue on how to build stuff like this, but that's why I came to John. And so for you guys can come to us and we will actually create these for your clients, and we'll make you look like a badass. And so you can employ our technology, my marketing mind, John's software mind, and we'll give that to your clients. So that's a big reason why we're kind of going through this. But let's Adam said it's pretty hot there. Let's go through and take a look at what else that we can do here. So we can do post photo to page, verify email. I'm curious about this finding emails thing, John. What is that? I know what it means, but tell me, is that for real? This is a real thing?
Yeah, it should work, but it should work. If it doesn't work, then I have to just go turn something on real quick to make it work. But make sure you give a valid URL. So you just give a valid URL there, give some valid website, and essentially we'll go out to that website, scrape the website, and bring back any emails that it finds on that website.
Wow.
If you don't give a valid URL, it's not going to work.
Say it again.
If you don't give a valid URL, it's not going to work. So if you give a URL that's not valid, then it's not going to actually work if you don't give a valid URL. And if I got it turned off, it may also not work.
Sure. Do you think, should I try it? I got a valid URL.
Yeah, you should try it.
Oops. So let's try this out. Let's see. So I had someone, maybe didn't return. Let's see. What can you do? So I don't think I put a good email or a good.
No, I think what's happened is I probably deleted the backend that actually does that from the bot. Is probably what happened. But that one's actually really, really simple, by the way. That one's actually really simple. So if you can actually
create a bot. You've already built it, but it'll go. You put in a website and it'll go and scrape all the emails off that website.
That's correct.
Fucking A, guys! If you guys want a scraper bot, just comment below and we'll get you one. What's this spreadsheet lookup? What does that do?
If you store data on a spreadsheet, I mean, if you have data stored on a spreadsheet somehow, just click it. That one particularly will allow you to look up the cost of living, or not the cost of living. It will allow you to look up the cost of happiness, the perceived cost of happiness in any country in the world. So.
Wow. Okay. So let's do this. Guys, do you guys want to see what the cost of perceived happiness is? Let's see.
Put in United States.
Okay.
Let's see what it costs in the United States.
Is it ready for me? Oh, okay. United States. It's going to say too expensive, not available. You can't be happy out here. Wow. Okay.
You need 62,000. You need 6,200 a week to be happy. Or you need 6,200 a month to be considered happy.
Guys, what country should we try? Drop a country down there. Let me see if I can pull some countries. What country do you guys want to see the cost of happiness for? I think it's going to take a little while to catch up because the Zoom is a little behind. But comment which one you guys want to try out, and we'll come back and maybe see what that is. So there's a few other things as we're wrapping up here that it can do. So this is just one of the some of the features essentially that you can build out. But you're working.
If you hit more things, you'll get like 4 more menus of things that you can actually do, man.
Wow. Let's see. Lots of other things that I can do. All right. Let's see. So John, when it comes to this stuff, you're working with some of the largest companies in the world doing some of their software. So for you, chatbots are, I mean, almost elementary, frankly. They're very elementary for you.
When it comes to ManyChat, and ChatFuel, yeah.
Yeah. And the nice thing about that is that now you can bridge what was only possible in an app, or what was only possible in a website setting, and you can bring those complex functionalities to a marketing tool like a chatbot, which is so powerful, because all these things were locked up in apps that no one ever used or that didn't matter. But now right here on Facebook Messenger, where we haven't even talked about open rates and all that other great stuff. Like now we're talking about really taking it to the next level where, similarly for you, John, I'm sure that you probably believe in this. Like right now, chatbots are in an early stage where they're just content delivery because nobody knows how to make them do anything really valuable. But now what you're saying is you can take a bot, and instead of just making it deliver bullshit, or instead of just it being just an information kind of delivery system, now it can be a functional tool. It can actually be a real bot, right? And so right here through Facebook Messenger. So let's go back, and I want to see these more things here, just because I'm curious for you guys who are tuning in live. And by the way, guys, if this is valuable for you, share this out. Okay, tag somebody who you think who needs this stuff. So it looks like we've got a few. So it says even more things. Wow, I can set a reminder, video reviews, conversational reply, conditional logic, get user's location. Wow. Yeah,
you want to go again? You missed a whole row of them before. That calculate BAC is pretty good though, because that will tell you how fucking drunk you are, man. So if you get real shit-faced drunk, it will tell you that you're dead.
So when you guys are out there drinking, you can pull out a chatbot and imagine. Here's the thing, okay? Imagine your local pub having this as their chatbot, right? And this is their opt-in. This is the way that they opt in. Where now, when they're at the bar, it's like, hey, don't leave without testing your BAC, right? Boom, they're opted in. Hey, did you get home safe? Hey, come back next week. Let's get shit-faced again, right? All of this stuff.
Man, you can have with ManyChat, that's the cool shit, those QR codes, those little QR code scanner. Mm-hmm. You just put that at the bar, and the guy comes up to the bar, scans it, and to order his drink. The first thing that it does, because now in the chatbot, we know how many drinks he's had. So we can tell him, look, here's how drunk you are already. Do you want another drink? What do you want? You want the same thing you got last time? You want something new? He can order his drink, and every time he goes in and orders, you can show him his progress of how shit-faced he is until you allow him to book a taxi right there through the chatbot and say, you want to go home, buddy? You're almost dead.
John, I don't go to bars. I don't go to bars often because I'm locked up now right here. But I remember it was the worst thing buying a drink at a bar. It was the absolute worst thing, or at a crowded club. Especially I'm short as shit, so I'm trying to peek over all you tall mofos. And what you're saying right now is someone at the dance floor, without leaving the girl, can now talk to the chatbot, order a drink, boom, 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 go swoop it up when it's ready, and without missing a beat.
That's correct. Essentially, you could do a double verification. You could have the guy, you could have the guy go in and order a drink anywhere he's at in the bar. And then at the physical bar counter, you could have a QR code scanner where, let's say he's talking to a girl on dance floor, he's just hitting the bot, ordering 2 drinks. He goes up to counter, he just scans that QR code, and then he just shows his little receipt to the bartender, who just gives him the drinks. Totally possible.
Damn.
That's how I get those. Man, that's how I get those $75,000 per bot build whenever I sell bots, man. Because I don't do kids. I mean, I will make a bot that just only spams out content, but I don't imagine somebody paying a bunch of money for that. So.
Yeah. So check this out, guys. So it says, let's say I had 8 ounces of alcohol, right? I'm 155 pounds. Let's say it's been 2 hours. So my blood alcohol is 0.33.
You're in the bathroom. You're in the bathroom, possibly unconscious.
I'm pretty shit-faced right now, guys.
And your girlfriend's not happy because you're unarousable.
Oh, look at that. Possible unconscious, unarousable, loss of bladder, risk of death. All right, guys. This is the kind of stuff.
You can, in this bot, essentially, you can initiate a phone call and do a lead bridge, all right? So I got another software that lets you do really easy lead bridges. So let's say because you got a whole nother pricing model for your bots, you can, instead of charging a fee to build a bot for somebody, you could just keep the bot and essentially just hustle leads, right? And say, yo, dude, people are coming to me because they want this, this, or that. I'm going to send those leads to you, and you're going to pay me X amount for each lead, right? So in this bot, you can essentially initiate a phone call between the lead and the person that you're delivering the lead to, and you have the call. There's no, those 2 people aren't actually connected. It's encapsulated, so the 2 people don't actually know each other's phone number, and you have a whole recording of the phone call that you can actually use to keep track of the person that you're delivering leads to. If your pricing model is, I'm gonna deliver you at a small cost per lead and a larger cost per conversion, you can go in and actually check up on them because you can physically listen to the conversations.
I dig it. So this is something that a lot of real estate agents pay thousands of dollars for, to have ISAs call people. Say that again?
Hundreds of thousands.
Oh, hundreds of thousands. Yeah, absolutely. And so what you're saying is that now the software can do it where they call it out and connect it all in one. So this is big. So it says I can do many things. We had some examples here, or some input. So I want to honor that. Someone put Mozambique. Is it going to have the happiness index for Mozambique?
What is it?
Mozambique. Do you think it'll have the happiness index for that? I don't know how deep that
I'll check the spreadsheet real quick. I mean, it's
really
not my data.
Really, it just goes to the spreadsheet, right? So as long as stuff is on the spreadsheet, I love it. So let's see. Anais, this is for you. We're getting crazy for you, Anais. We've been talking for a little bit here. Guys, if you have questions for John, throw those down there. Now's the time to throw them down there about what are the possibilities of bots and what are the capabilities of it. So one thing that's they said, John, is messaging people in their time zones, and following up with people in appropriate time zones. Is it possible to create? I'd imagine so, but can you speak to the capabilities of kind of knowing someone's time zone, where they're at, and things like that?
Well, Facebook gives us a pseudo time zone, or ManyChat gives us a pseudo time zone for people. So we have their locale and we have their time zone. So yeah, essentially we can, with some conditional logic, we can go in and program what to do based on their actual. So with some simple conditional logic, we can program what to do based on the time zone that they're in. Did you get the cost of happiness for that place?
I'm jumping the gun. I think I did it too early. There it is. 6K.
You need like 30%, a little less than 30% what you need in the US.
Right.
So if you actually want to do something as far as delivering content, a message to them based on the physical time that it is where they're at, well, you can do that as well, but you need a little bit of auxiliary help. You need some way to go in. Since you know their time zone, you need to actually resolve their time zone to a physical current time. And then, yeah, you can totally do stuff like that.
I love it. Any other things on here, John, that you think we should do before we get out of here?
I honestly, Hector, that bot does almost everything. So
what we can do is we can actually drop the link to the demo bot and they can play around with it. Is that cool?
Yeah. And if you're lucky, I mean, if you play it, honestly, if you play around with it in a right way, most of the content, like most of those flows in there, if you do it right, most of those flows in there, you will get to a flow. It will give you a share link where you can just download that flow right into your own bot.
Oh, so if I were to hit like teach me how, something like that.
If he teach me how, I think it's gonna ask you for money if you.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's gonna ask you for money first if you hit teach me how. Actually, it will probably give you some content for free, and then ask you for some money.
Nice.
But then again, it may not ask you for any money, Hector, because you already gave me some money. So.
So it says so I did the multiple choice quiz. All right, many people want a BMW and only or few are able to buy. Oh, this is a demand. Jesus, I'm a fucking marketing one, right? What is the want for a specific product backed in by an ability to pay? Backed by an ability to pay. I don't know. Am I correct?
Nope.
No? Marketers often use this term to cover various groupings of
the top one was demand. The top one was want. The second was demand. If you want something but you can't pay for the shit, you don't have a demand. What do you got a want? But if you want something that you can actually pay for, then you got a demand.
I see. Anything that can be offered to a market for attention, acquisition, use, or consumption that might satisfy a want or a need is probably called product. Testing before launching a product is known as, I don't know, maybe market test. Yeah, I should have paid attention more in school. So let's see, C-score. So this is really so it'll actually calculate all this. So once again, guys, 2 out of 5. Jesus, it was a marketing quiz.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this, Hector, is this either like if you, and I'm sure you know because you're into marketing, and most fucking marketing that you see the average Joe do is one of two things. It's a fucking PDF or it's a quiz. Like almost every little marketing landing page, every lead capture page is like, you want a PDF, you want a video, you want the results to this quiz that you just took. So
that's it. Guys, this was fun. I just sit here and want to play with this bot. So I want to see.
Go to that second page because you totally passed the second page.
Oh, let's see.
So go more. You totally bypassed the second one, man.
The shit goes down on the second page. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. That one you totally bypassed.
Shorten URL. I can accept a donation, PayPal payment, talk to another bot, accept payment, call US phone number, calculate BMI, a survey. I can post to a Facebook group, database lookup. So walk me through some of these things. Just tell me essentially what I know what some of these things are, but I feel like you might be able to explain.
Well, shorten URL. Shorten URL lets you take a URL and get the short link back for it. So I've got a software that shortens URLs and it does a lot more. It lets you embed tracking pixels in those URLs for Facebook, for Google. It lets you brand them. It lets you create like your own custom advertisement that a user sees before they actually go to the URL. So it's like a short URL on steroids. Because it allows you, especially with the tracking pixel, allows you to go in and actually because a lot of content marketers, that's what they do. They shorten, like if you're a content marketer or if you're an affiliate marketing, right? If you're in affiliate marketing, you always shorten your link because you don't want anybody to see that. You don't want anybody to see that it's you don't want anybody to see that it's an affiliate link. So it allows you to pixelize those people. But that one just allows you to shorten your URL. The other ones, I don't remember what was there in those other ones, man.
I love it. Oh, let's see. So did it work? Boom. Okay. And there's my URL. Woo! That's sweet.
So that one's pretty easy. That one uses Googly, doesn't use my software because I don't like to self-promote because people hate that. So
but what you're saying though is we can now take all these little softwares in here and we can now plug them into chatbots.
Correct.
Right. I mean, and for you guys, right? Like there's a large majority of marketers who frankly don't want to, and I don't blame you, don't want to spend the time to go through and learn all this stuff, right? Because I don't even have the want to learn how to program because I'm never going to be a better programmer than John. But like I said, there are companies. I don't even know if there's companies or kind of partnerships like what we do quite yet because it's such a new space. So accept donation. What's this PayPal payment? What's this here?
You want to take payments through PayPal?
And so it'll basically just allow the bot to accept PayPal payments, yeah?
Correct. And then it will keep record of. It will keep record of the fact that your user just purchased that thing. So you got to have that for lead scoring, right? That donation one sucks though, by the way, and that's really PayPal's interface. The other one's a lot better. So look at the other one, that buy a product. PayPal's done a much better job on that one. They make this one a lot easier and a lot better looking than the first one. The first one, since it's a donation, they do a bunch of crap since it's a donation. So. And
is this synced up to the bot too, where the bot will know if they actually complete?
Yeah, the bot will actually know. If you hit cancel instead of exiting out, the bot knows about that too, that you essentially abandoned that cart.
Wow. So okay. So this is another thing that with this, the bot can track, similar to what you used to do on a website, and you're similar. It's probably the same process, but now you can track products that people have viewed. You can track if they've actually added to the cart and abandoned it, and then kind of, essentially follow up with them afterwards as well. Like those types of things weren't really possible without Facebook ads. If they landed on your website, then you can hit them another with an ad. But essentially, for e-commerce stores, you can retarget within the bot through this kind of tracking, right?
So much you can do with the chatbot. Usually, what my answer is whenever people ask me, John, can the bot do this? I'll just say, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I just tell people to stop answering. Don't ask me that question because the answer is always yes.
Mm-hmm.
They can do that. So, honestly, if you want your bot to launch a rocket and put that rocket into near Earth orbit, the bot can technically do that. Now, it's going to require a couple programmers, but essentially launch a rocket into near Earth orbit.
So Anais, I'm gonna piss you off right now, John, but I'm curious to hear your answer. It said, can a bot help customers pick the best dish for them?
Yeah, sure.
Probably, right? You probably could do some calculations and stuff like that with a survey or something.
Yeah, it could. It could help them pick the right dish for them, but you got to understand the bot's accuracy is going to be based on the data. If you have dirty data, it's going to give you a dirty result. If you have good data, it's going to give you a good result. Meaning the more data, let's say if you're doing this for a restaurant, if your restaurant is keeping tracks and allowing a user to order food through the bot, go in and give reviews and give feedback from the food on the bot, or go in and actually fill out certain information on the bot, then hell yeah, as long as you collect that data. But if you just have some random Joe Smo and you know nothing about him whatsoever, can the bot predict or predict what he should be eating or what he's gonna like? Sure, but it's gonna be like that guy. It's gonna be like that guy outside the Circle K that's real dirty and has a little brown bag that predicts the lottery number for you for $5. It's not gonna be very
accurate. Sorry guys, I'm just playing here with this bot, guys. This is so much fun. So we'll link this up and you guys can go play around with it too. That's so crazy. So I can it's gonna post this picture right to the group, right through the bot.
That's correct. That will actually post right to my group. That is correct.
We're just spamming your group with a bunch of random shit here.
Look, you can change this bot, the Facebook page. You can change his profile picture. And really, I should take it out of the bot, because what happens is sometimes I run paid advertising, and I'll notice that some asshole, after I'm spending money on an ad, some assholes went in playing with my bot, and they've literally changed the profile picture of the bot to like some mooning somebody, or and I'm sitting there getting people, like, I'll get a notification and somebody will have like this awful comment on my ad, and I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? And I'll see, oh, somebody went through my bot and updated the Facebook, like my profile picture, to just something completely stupid. But you can do it. I mean, and you can do it because it's demo bot, and that's what that bot's meant for. Is this bot altogether maybe took me like 16 hours to build altogether, everything this bot can do. And that's what it's meant for, is just to show you some of the things that a bot could do.
Dope. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions for John, he's got a full software engineering company to run, so throw those down there quickly. This is I'm so excited about this, John, because like I said at the beginning, there's very few people. I dismiss almost every other person in the bot community who's a so-called expert, but this is just next level shit. So I'm excited to move forward with all this. So guys, one of two things. So I'm gonna kind of let people know a little bit earlier. For what we're doing is there's a couple of things. So if you have clients that you want to get bots built for them, drop a comment, and we'll reach out and follow up with you, and we can actually work together and build some awesome bots for you as well. But secondly, if you want to start making some money, we actually have some spots. They're obviously commissioned, sales spots, but we're taking on a few people for our agency, where what we're going to do is we're going to train you. We're going to give you all of our tools, all of our resources. Obviously, you're going to be able to sell John and I's bots and make some money for yourself. So if you guys are interested in hustling a little bit and want to make some money, selling this stuff, you can do that too. So, John, anything else before we wrap this bad boy up?
Well, yeah. So I see you get some really good content out all the time, Hector. And I mean, I don't need help with sales myself, because it's easy. It's easy for me because the reason it's so easy for me is because, like, I know what I'm selling, and that makes it so easy. But I just want to appreciate you, man, because I see, honestly, like, I've been kicked out of so many groups, man, and I've joined so many groups just to see. I'm not a social person, to see what the fuck goes on in a Facebook group. And out of every group I've seen, man, like, you're honestly like the most selfless person that I've seen so far that's out there. I mean, literally, another dude that was supposed to be like a friend of mine that really prides himself on relationships real bad. Even he kicked me out of his groups for telling his users that I have free software that they can use that doesn't cost them any money, because he has a software that he charges for that does the same thing. All right. And like every group that I've seen, they're like, even him, all right, he's not a bot person, doesn't know anything about bots, but he built this real stupid little fucking bot, and he was selling it in his group for up like, literally it's like 6 minutes of work, and he's selling it, starting at price X, then raising it again, and then going all the way up to $97 for this stupid, not even a bot, just like one little tiny piece of a bot. And I'm thinking, and his users, it's really dumb, because his like group members are so fucking happy that he's giving so much value away, charging $97 for just this one little piece. Meanwhile, I'm like looking at your post every day, and I'm like, this motherfucker is just giving shit away. Like, everybody else that I see, they're just selling this, selling that, selling this, selling that, and not even are they just selling this for like, they're selling this little tiny thing for like $97. They're also wasting 30 minutes of your fucking time to talk about the shit just to tell you I'm going to sell it to you. They can't just come right out up front and say, hey, here's a 30-second explanation of what this is, because it's all it fucking takes, and it costs you $97. Buy the shit, it's there. It's like they give you 30 minutes of just wasting your time talking some garbage. I just want to appreciate you for what you're doing, because not that many people on the internet are doing that. And one of the things I see you say all the time, man, is you keep telling your students that they need a demo bot. And you guys need to have a demo bot. Trust me, I've got a demo bot It took, when I say me, it didn't take me because I asked one of my employees to do it for me. It took us 2 days. I mean, it took that guy 2 days to build the bot, but no shit, we got over $100,000 contract from that client because that client has 15,000 realtors in their association that they went out and fucking did basically a bulletin on their thing, and we got about 1,300 sales from that fucking demo bot. Over $100,000 from that fucking demo bot. Took 2 days to build. So when you guys build these demo bots, man, make the big thing I want to stress to you is make sure that you understand you're not building this shit so you can learn how to build a bot. You're building this so that you can go show it to somebody and they can see it and they can give you money. So do it right. Don't do it to some extent. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, then by all means, don't fucking do it. Hire somebody who knows what they're doing to do it. Because if not, you're going to go show this to your client and your client's going to be like, whatever, you know? So that demo bots, it's a really key feature because your competitors don't know it. If you don't want to build one, what I would tell you, if you don't want to build one and you don't want to hire somebody, do a competitive search on Facebook for that same type of client. Eventually, you'll find one using a bot and just tell your client, here's a bot that I built for somebody else in the industry. Technically, that's a lie. Welcome to fucking business. That's how sales work. So that's it, man. Those demo bots are important.
I love that. Now, I'm going to back up and I got to say, don't lie, because I got to say that.
Okay. No, don't lie. Don't tell me build it. Just show them the demo bot.
Just show it. Yeah, no, it's that. I think all of that is perfectly great advice. And you just say, this is what other people are doing. I could do the same exact thing for you. I love it. So we'll get all this linked up. And I mean, so much opportunity here. So I think one thing that we talked about at the beginning that we'll just touch on at the end is that people ask me if like how we can use ManyChat now without an open API. And basically they have updated some things that are allowing much smarter people than me to go in and hand off stuff so that it can talk to a chat tool or it can talk to something else, so that now anything that ManyChat couldn't do before, you could find someone to go there and create something to do it as well. So all the possibilities are open. It's off to the races. It's just a matter of whether or not you're going to go out there and you're going to take action on it and take advantage of this. So, all right, guys, you guys want more info?
ManyChat doesn't have an open API, just so you know. I mean, because essentially, you can have your web application. You've got ManyChat. You can have Zapier because they've got a Zapier integration in between. You can have Zapier sit there to get information from ManyChat to your web application. And guess what? You know what ManyChat does? They call the Facebook API. That's all they do. They make API calls to Facebook. Your web application can do the exact same thing. So ManyChat can talk to Zapier that can send data to your custom application, and your custom application can just bypass ManyChat and go straight into Facebook. Or if you want, it can go back to Zapier and then back into ManyChat. It's all possible.
You guys heard it. Comment if you want more info. We'll follow up with you. See you later.